I'm looking forward to having this session with us because yeah, we've been having beautiful times, but for a good time now, we've been very silent and quiet. Yeah, and that's because other things are actually taking my time. But I said I'm going to do this before it gets to the next day. And so yeah, if you are alive, you're on, you're joining us, just leave a comment. All right, let's get to know you, where you're joining us from. This is the best live discussion, and we have this once in every week. If you're coming here the first time, you can do it. Just like, subscribe, whether you're watching from YouTube or on Facebook. The best live discussion is an engagement we normally have to help people gravitate from the little place of life, the limited mindset that they have, to a new mindset, to a new understanding, to a new level. Basically, it is helping people find their best self. Right? You can find your best self, you can definitely live your best life. That's what this conversation is all about. At the same time, it is enshrined into several things that I do. One, which is Skill Migraine Solutions, a community built to help skill learners and skill professionals upskill and as well build their skill for profit. That means that their skill makes money for them. That's something we do at Skill Migraine Solutions. And also, um, I run a platform called Just Truth Music. Just Truth Music brand. It's basically focused on teaching people music, more on the music theories level, and as well music performances. Get to do videos and share on social space to bless a lot of persons. It's something I do for spiritual engagement, and so yeah, you can go check it out. The bio, my bio, you'd see the link to the channel and to the page. You can just click on it and enjoy yourself. So let's talk about our conversation today. It's a very important conversation, very, very good one. I think we should really have this conversation because many persons are really, 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 really struggling. I mean, yeah, people are struggling, people are really struggling. And so we should have this conversation. So what's this conversation about? Basically, it is how not to fail. How not to fail. You have been in a place where you're confused. Am I just too weak? Am I just too confused? All right. We are going to find out the way where you can always break those barriers and move forward. And so I have about 5 pillars, probably 6, I'm going to give to us tonight as regards how not to fail. And so you want to stay true to the end so that you can get each of these pillars because they are very, very important. All right. So the first pillar I have for this, because I'm just going to drive into this conversation. The first pillar I have for how not to fail is do it now. Do it now. Also, many persons fantasize about what they desire to get in their lives or what they desire to achieve and accomplish in life. But at the same time, while they have those fine, beautiful, amazing desires, just stay stuck on those desires and they do nothing about it. Right? And that's like a very big limitation because you just desire things and there is nothing being done about those things. It's just going to stay as a mere desire and nothing is going to come out of it. So if you have a desire, if you have a particular plan, you have something that you really desire to happen, you have something that you really desire to, you want that thing so much, then it is wise enough to take an action on that thing, to do what needs to be done to get that thing to happen. Keeping on to wait on one thing over and over and over again brings that limitations, brings you to that place where many things do not happen. Right. One of the fastest way to get progress do, is to take action, to do it now, to do what you need to do at this moment. I can see Kelvin. Kelvin, you're welcome, very much welcome to the live engagement. All right. So one of the important things about you not failing is actually to do things now. Many persons procrastinate, right? They push things tomorrow and all of that. But one of the biggest strategy you can use to really get forward and do a lot better for yourself is to do things now. And it's not even hard because you can easily understand the things that are really critical and very important to you. Why many persons struggle with time issues is because they don't have an understanding of what is really important to them. But the truth is, we do, we know, and this is every time clear to us because those things that are truly important, they are enshrined within our minds, and they are the things that brings us the real stress that we call about. So those things you call stress are actually what you should do that you're not doing. And so you can see what is really important, what's really essential, and focus on that thing and get on to do that thing. And you get your result. So it's an easy game to run, it's an easy walk to walk. But you have to be able to do things now to get those results. And so if you have identified what is really important to you, the next thing to do is to do it now. Don't wait for tomorrow. Don't wait for next year. Don't wait for a very beautiful and amazing, pleasant time. Right? Get into action and do what you need to do and do that thing now. It is transforming. It is redemptive. It does a lot to your productivity. You see, a person that does things in the moment, in the immediate time, when that thing should be done, do it faster, right? And even if that thing is not perfect at the moment that the person did that thing, he has already won because he has understood that okay, this thing, these are the limitations in this thing, and maybe after taking the action, he gets on to reflect and see the limitations, and then gets on again to take another action. And by the time he has done 3 times, he has still there thinking about if you are going to take an action. While it is already getting big, and so it is wise to act immediately. It is wise to do things in the immediate moment that you have the opportunity to do them. Waiting for a perfect moment, a perfect time is an illusion. It's not going to happen, right? It doesn't happen. Perfect moment, it doesn't happen. It's far from it. Really, really far from it. And so you want to be able to take on action to do what you need to do and do it in the present moment. There are many things in the day that one should do. Yeah, true. I agree. There are many things in the day that one should get on to focus on. Yeah, true. I agree. But you know what is important to you. So why don't you put your actions, your energy, your mind, your resources into that thing and get you the result that you need to do? People that complain about time don't use time very well. It's the truth. People that complain that they don't have time don't use their time very well because they can't even be accountable to the time that they have. If you sit down with those persons to actually calculate and check, what have you done with 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 2 hours, 4 hours? You realize that these persons are actually time wasters. And so you want to be able to know that your time is essential and very important. And if you have the opportunity to do what you need to do that is very important to you, then you get on to do it in a moment. So that that moment and that time can be profitable to you. So the first principle to getting forward is actually what? To do things now, immediately, as they come. Based on their priority and importance, get on to do them. If you find the first thing that you're supposed to do, pick it up and get on to do it until you have been able to completely do that activity before you move to the next activity. This brings that transformation. It's a very easy game, but then it requires consistency and real full focus. A full and real focus is a focus that is not tweeted, a focus that has decluttered every other thing that is not important, and it stays fully on what is really true, what is really essential. It stays in the moment. That is focus, right? So first is what? Do it now. The second principle is be willing to fail. Be willing to fail. Be willing to fail. I kind of emphasize this because it's like the bedrock of this conversation. How not to fail is to be willing to fail. How not to fail is to be willing to fail. You have to take that bet. It's a hard one, but yeah, it's true. You see, any person that is willing to fail always succeeds because there is nothing to lose. When there is nothing to lose, there is nothing to fear. When there is nothing to fear, there is nothing holding you back. Many times, it is the fear issue or maybe ego. But whatever it is, by the time you become less afraid, by the time you become less of your ego, and you become willing to let yourself fail, you're unstoppable. You are completely unstoppable. And so you can take one action, take two actions, and then move to the next to the destination you're looking out for. Nothing stops you, nothing limits you. Those people who fail quitted. So the reason why you don't fail is because you never stopped. So if you don't stop, you have not failed. If you don't quit, you have not failed. If you don't relax, you have not failed. You may fail, you may get hit by certain situations or challenges, but if you stay on the game, regardless of whatever you feel, regardless of how you think it is, if you stay on the game for a long, good time, you will definitely succeed. And so, are you willing to go through a long term of failure? Are you willing to go through a long term of difficulty? Are you willing to go through a long term of confusion just to figure out what you need to know? Because in that figuring out, you become wiser and effective, and you can take better actions that drives you to the destination you're looking out for. This is an effective and powerful truth that many persons would ignore. Right? So you have to be what? You have to be willing to fail. There is so much victory you can get from your failures. Every time you fail, you learn a lesson. It is never a loss. It is a new dimension of what? Of knowledge. It is something that you've never experienced before, but you've gotten an insight on how to approach this thing next time. And so the more you fail, the more you get better. The more you fail, the deeper you understand. The more you fail, the more aligned you become until you get into success. Success itself is not as thrilling. I think the process to success is what is really thrilling and really important. I've seen some person that wants to get a particular skill and monetize it. Okay, I love this skill, I want to do this, but they're not willing to put in the work. They feel like it just has to happen tomorrow or today. Well, you have to go into different dimensions of work. Do this once, do this twice, do this 3 times, do this 4 times, until you get your balance, until you get your stance, until you get your strength, and then you get your results eventually. He was willing to fail. He was willing to fail to get the result they're looking out for. And so you can never live your best life if you are always shut up and hiding yourself and feel like you're inadequate and you cannot do the things that you want to do. Your best self is always found in your ability to come out and face the realities of life. You become bold and assertive about the life that you want to live and stand with all confidence and face it and say that this is what I want, and you pursue it with all of your might and power. That is how to pursue for your success. And so you do not fail. You do not fail if you don't quit. How is it that we have so many persons today that it's easy for them to go off the radar? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 try and they're off. Can you stick on to the game for 100 days, for 200 days, or for 100 times, for 200 times? How much volume of effort have you put in to do this thing? And how consistently have you been able to do this thing? By the time you can put in more effort, then you realize that what? There is something possible in this place. Because at the time you've done 50 days, you're already getting insight that, oh, this is like, I've been playing all these days. And this is like, there's a problem here. I can figure this out now. I understand this now. I know how to push this now because you've gotten insight. And so the success lies within your willingness to pursue regardless. And you have to pursue in cold days. You have to pursue in warm days. You have to pursue in good weather. You have to pursue in bad weather. At all intervals, in all different times and seasons, you have to pursue. There is no slacking. There is no lagging behind. Every day is a day to fight. Every day is a day to pursue. Every day is a day to put in the work and bring in the energy. There's no better strategy than what? Staying true to what really works. you identify that this thing is beautiful, this thing is amazing, and it is marvelous, it is good. Why don't you give it your attention? Why don't you give it your time? Why don't you put in the input to get it to the destination or to the level that it should get to? So this is very, very important and very, very essential. If you can stick to your engagement and be willing to fail, you will do so much more than those persons that have been sitting down there trying to strategize and understand a particular problem. The next is learn from every failure. Learn from every failure. These things are things that we see every single day, but we don't pay attention to them. Learning from every failure basically means that by the time you fail, you get to sit down and ask yourself questions. Many persons don't reflect and ask themselves the question, like, okay, if I failed, why did I fail? Why didn't I get the result that I was looking out for? What has stopped me from getting what I needed to get at this point? What can I do right now that's going to make a difference and give us the best result after we've been able to fail from here? What are the calculations? What are the matrices that you can see that cause this problem or cause these limitations? And how can we move from here to the next level? You have to ask yourself those questions. What really caused the failure? What did we do? What should we not do? What should we improve on? What should we reject? What should we add? What should we put more energy on? All of this, you have to be clear about them, and you have to ask yourself the question to get clarity on these things so that you can be able to do better next time. If you don't do this, then your efforts will not be wasted. So when we try things and they don't work and do nothing about them, then we are foolish. But when we try things they don't work and we do something about them, which is to reflect and to check what happened, track the actions, track the result, track the process. Somewhere, you're going to get an answer that costs why you got the result that you get. It could be that you were late. It could be that you were too fast. It could be that you were too slow. It could be that you never understood the timing in different little segments or details. And all of these frameworks will give you the idea of why you really failed. And this will guide your action the next time you get into the game. It's really important. Many persons want to get new ideas, they want to hear new things, they want to hear cool things, but the very fundamental things, the very intentional and important things are left behind. They don't give you the time, they don't give you the attention, they feel like this is outdated and so we're not going to about it. But, well, you're never going to get any result if you don't do the basic things that are really, really important. So, learn from every failure. Every single time you fail, you should learn from it. The expression of your intelligence is your ability to actually recognize that you failed in a thing and you understand why you failed and you improve on it. So if you have an engagement at a particular point and that engagement you failed on it at that point, your ability to test your ability or the strength of your intelligence to truly know that you actually know what you're doing or you are very fast at knowing things is your ability to recognize, okay, I have failed. I have seen what caused this failure and I have taken an action to get me forward to the next level. That is true intelligence. It's like a saving grace, right? And you need that intelligence. So we test true intelligence by our ability to identify failure and improve and do better after we fail. So if you fail once, you fail twice, you fail once, you fail twice, you fail 3 times, and you can't recognize that you failed, then you're intelligence. You fail once, you fail twice, and at the third time, you can recognize that, okay, this third time, this is what's causing me to fail and not to get the result I'm looking out for. Then you can say that, okay, this is my capacity of intelligence. I know just this much. Every time that I get to fail twice, then I truly recognize what I am doing wrongly. And when you become conscious about that, you can now take better actions to sit down and say, okay, I would be very careful and very deliberate at every point I feel like there is a failure, there's a backslash. And basically, what does failure mean? Failure means that you didn't get the result that you're looking out for. That's it. So every time you don't get the result you're looking out for, you are failed. Yeah, fine. Then ask yourself the question, how did I fail? Why did I fail? What did I fail on? Let's be very clear and specific on each of these things. And then if it's a very big concept, you have to break each part and understand why what failed or why what succeeded, and move on to do better with those stuffs. So review is very important. The next point is failure means give up, which I touched to an extent. Failure means give up. So it's basically saying that there is no failure until you give up. There is no failure until you give up. And so if you can continue to try, if you can continue to put in the energy and the work, then you have not failed yet. So we only count failure at the point where you give up and say you are not doing again. So there is actually no limitations. It's just your mind, it's just with you. If you can push on once, push on twice, 3 times, 10 times, 20 times, 100 times, 78 times, 130 times, continuously, until you get the result you're looking out for, you have not failed. That action will drive you to find the real thing you're looking out for, and will bring you the success I've been hoping for. Oh yes, that's your redemption. And the next is show up regardless. This one, I love this one so much because I do it every day. Some days it doesn't feel cool. Some days it doesn't feel cozy. Some days it doesn't feel inspiring. Some days it doesn't feel amazing. Some days it doesn't feel joyful. Some days it doesn't feel danceable. Some days it doesn't feel like it should feel. Some days the energy is less. But you know what? I show up regardless. I felt like not even having this live session today. The week is already closing. I said I must do this before the week closes. And today, Saturday, is the last day of the week. And so I said I'm going to do it. Even though I don't feel like it, I'm going to start on with it. And one of the beautiful things about motivation is the fact that if you start a thing, you get motivated to even continue that thing. And so what you only need to do is just to start. Because by the time you start, you are triggered to push on. You start getting that energy right within you to continue that thing. And so your capacity of focus becomes centered on something, and then you can now push that thing with all of your might and power. And come on, you definitely get the result you're looking out for with that kind of energy. Yeah, you do. So you do not quit regardless of whatever happens. You do not quit at all. Let the rain come, let the sun shine, you are still here. Let there be wind, let there be this, let there be that, you are still here. In all times, in all seasons, with all situations, you are still here. If you can stick to this game, you are going to win 99% of the population. I've seen persons that I felt like I do not know so much, but I win them because I show up. I win them because I am into the game. I still work it out when I feel less of myself. I still work it out when I feel confused. I still work it out when I feel depressed. I still work it out when I feel happy and excited. In all seasons, at all times, I am still showing up to do what I need to do. It's called doing the reps. You've got to do the reps. You got to do what you need to do to get the result you need to get. You're not going to always feel happy every day. You're not going to always feel excited every day. You're not going to always feel amazing every day. But you have to do what you need to do. And let's bring this to the last point I want to talk about, which is to keep your energy alive. And the only way to keep your energy alive is actually to do the works. See, you can actually create new vibes and new energy when you engage on the thing that you really want to do. People only get burnt out when they start doing the things that they don't want to do. You don't get burnt out from the thing that you are proposed to do, that you love to do, that you want to do, and that you are willing to do. And so you are excited about doing a thing when that thing is what you really truly want to do, and you understand the value of that thing, you understand the importance of that thing, you understand the long-term effect of that thing. Now, I'm not saying something that's going to give you gratification or pleasure at the moment. I'm talking about something that in the long term it brings out the best in you. You know, you understand this thing, you realize that this will give you the result you're looking out for. What happens? You push on for it. And so it's just amazing. Your energy gain is very, very important to giving you the output that you need. And a side of this is to stay around or stay in an environment where your energy can be sustained. So get friends and get people around you that will always bring you that right energy, that will always saturate you to be with the right energy to push. Get yourself around people that are willing to press on regardless of whatever happens. Get yourself around like minds of the kind of result that you want to achieve. You find yourself around the people that actually love doing the things that you do. You will get the energy to pursue it. If you have a system that makes you to be awakened, that makes you to find reasons to pursue, then you'll be awakened. If you find people, if you find friends, if you find a community, if you find a mentor that has the energy to push you, to move you to the direction that you need to get to, then you will get to your destination. You will have that energy. You will have that strength to push on. You will have that strength to pursue. You will have that strength to do what you need to do. Because energy is contactable. You can contact it. I believe hearing this, you also feel the energy that's coming from me because, yeah, it's right there. I feel it so strongly. Same thing with you. By the time you engage on what is really important to you, 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, you are into the game, and what happens? You are spurred up to pursue. And so for many persons, it is just to start. It's just to start with the right environment, start with the right friends, start with the right project, start with the right thing. And what happens? Everything explodes from that moment. You start doing unimaginable things. Maybe yours is just to exercise. I've had a week where I need to exercise every day. So when I wake up, I'm like, oh, my body, I'm tired, I can't do this thing. But I still stand up, I couldn't resist whereby I must do this. And I have an accountability system. But I have to tell people that I did this exercise today. If I don't do it, I'm going to tell them that I didn't do it. I don't want to tell them that I didn't do it. And so I push myself to do it. I also remind myself of my purpose, my why, my reason why I'm doing what I'm doing. And so because I recognize and remember that reason, I take the right action. This is your superpower. This is how not to fail. And everything is free right in your hands. So the courses you have been trying to buy, you don't need them. The places you have been trying to go, you don't need them. The people you have been trying to contact, you don't need them. What you need is to focus. What you need is to keep on engaging. What you need is to ask questions. What you need is to continue to drive, because this is what's going to give you the result you're looking out for. I trust you will be able to learn so much tonight. It's been an amazing session so far. And I hope that you get on with this knowledge and implement it immediately. A very powerful truth about those persons that succeed is that they implement things immediately. One of the things we talked about tonight is do it now. So get on to take action immediately. Also, if this is your first time coming in, the first time seeing our posts or engagements, you can do well to like, subscribe. You can share to your friends. They're connecting on Facebook. you're connecting from YouTube, wherever you're connecting from, do well to engage and stay blessed. Quick one is, if you're looking for a community that you want to help you to build yourself, stay, see productivity, see personal development, and importantly, see making profit from your skills, then I think the best community to be is in Skill Migraine Solutions. There's a link attached to this video in the descriptions. You can get on to click on that link, and it moves you right into the community where your life will be transformed. Looking forward to seeing you in. Have a beautiful rest. Bye.